What is up, YouTube? This is AlphonZeus here, Team Gradelock, with another episode of Team Gradelock Unlocks the Week. We're going to be going over the latest Cardfight Vanguard episode, Ride 154, as well as results from our local and any more news that we have from Team Gradelock to you, our subscribers. So let's get right into it. Ride 154. Spoiler alert, you haven't seen the episode yet, please pause and close the video, go watch that episode, and then come back right here so we can discuss about it. Of course, if you don't want to do that, please click on the link in the description down below so you can skip right to the results of our local. So, right into it. Ride 154. Beyond the Bond, very fitting title. We have the conclusion of the battle between Aichi and Kai. Aichi running the Gold Paladin Liberators and Kai running the Link Joker Starvaders. So, Aichi was going for his final turn. Crossbow rides Gaxalot Zenith. He only has 2 attacks because the right rear guard column front row and the booster for the left rear guard column are locked. So it's only 2 attacks, and they're not really 2 attacks besides the Vanguard. And so Aichi went for Gaxalot Zenith, Crossbow Ride, managed to at least have Escrod attack, have his 14k, Kai blocked that, and then Gaxalot Zenith swinging in for an insane amount. Kai perfect guarded that, but he activated Gaxalot's Limit Break, where he put Escrod on the bottom of his deck and Superior called a regular unit, and that unit gains plus 10k power. And so Aichi got a crit trigger on his second one, put it all on his rear guard, went for it in, Kai perfect guarded that again. And so Kai goes and he calls final turn. Kai ends up break riding Starvader, Chaos Breaker Dragon over Infinite Zero Dragon. So locking the rear guards, he goes in. Aichi activates his Quintet Wall. Now the unfortunate part is that with Aichi, his Quintet Wall only produced a 25k shield when Infinite Zero Break Ride was swinging for well more than 25k, making it only a 1 to pass. And when Kai actually got off the heal trigger, there's nothing else that Aichi could do. And so the rear guard, so Chaos Breaker Dragon actually came in and just swooped in on Zenith. Aichi damage checked a 6 damage, no trigger. And he actually lost, which was a nice twist, but I guess everybody was seeing that coming because we didn't see what happened with Corrin, so I guess that's another fight that had to be coming into place. And Kai finally asserts his dominance in Season 3. So, what happens is that Kai, he goes in the building, just assuming that Aichi's going to reverse everybody else. But, at the right time, Leon and the 2 sisters, Charlene and the other girl, they come in, and they come in with a mirror. So, this mirror apparently helped Aichi by having Takudo, or the spirit of Takudo, who was sealed away from his physical body, actually come in and help Aichi with the reverse state, activating Psyqualia. I was wondering when Psyqualia would actually come back into play here, and it seems that it's coming back in a very big way. That when Aichi was, faced with the fact that he might be reversed, and then Takudo comes in and he says, "No, activate your Psyqualia, and you at least eliminate the reverse state for now." And so Aichi became the first character to actually break becoming reversed, which pretty much destroys the theme that's been happening throughout the entire season. Whenever a card fighter loses, he or she becomes reversed. In Aichi's case, this may be temporary, because Takudo did explain further that even though that you are fighting, there's a bad chance that during the fight that all of a sudden all the emotion, everything that was sealed away temporarily by Psyqualia will come out again, and Aichi might end up being reversed during the fight. So that's something that should really be looked out for. So when Leon comes in, he comes in confidently, because all he has to do is have a mirror to be in contact with Takudo just in case if he loses as well. And then what happened was he tells everybody else to take care of Aichi, make sure that he's going to be okay, and ends up Aichi falling asleep when Takudo just holds his hand, just rest, because you actually might lose your life if you continue the card fight when you're still in that state, especially when you try to get the reverse state out of you and you did successfully only temporarily. Leon goes in, he brings in this makeup mirror that one of the sisters gives him. It was a nice token of affection, and Leon just goes in the building with the spirit of Takudo, seeing that if he can be the main protagonist in this series. And so I don't know, I'm rooting for Leon. I see that in Infinite Rebirth for set 15, Aquaforce isn't there, so will we see an Aquaforce reversed unit? Will we see an unlimited unit? Or will we see just a unit that can unlock units that's not Link Joker? So, I think that this is going to be a very interesting twist in the arc. I want to see what happens if Leon's going to go up against Corrin, or Leon's going to go up against Kai directly, or if there's any other card fighters that were reversed that are still will be facing Leon, because I bet there's going to be a couple more. And I was hoping that maybe the other card fighters would show up. Maybe Ren would show up. Maybe, Team Kaiser would show up. Maybe SIT Genius would show up. I was hoping that they would come into play so that, it seems like it's bringing everybody together to this one building to eliminate Void and the reverse at its source. I think that's a very good episode. I haven't seen the preview for next week because I want to, at least keep the suspense going. And then, if you have any more news about, the Cardfight Vanguard episode, or if you have any more comments towards it, please comment down below because we want to hear what you have to think about it. And now let's get to the results of our locals. Now, this week, last week, I managed to go to 2 different locals. The first local was Comics and Toys. I entered in the Yu-Gi-Oh tournament, and I ended up going 1-3, where the only win I had was a bye. In Yu-Gi-Oh, I play Perfect Agents, Herald of Perfection with the Agent Engine, and the first game I went up against was a Evil Swarm deck, and pretty much it destroyed me because when I summoned Manju to search for the ritual spell to summon Herald, he Fiendish chained it, so I couldn't really do much about that. And then second game he locked me out with Ophion, so I couldn't really do much there. And then second game I went up against a, how do I say this? I'm trying to remember who else I went up against. A Blackwing player. A Blackwing player managed to get it, and we were both tied 1 game apiece. The third game he had turn 1 skill drain on, so that kind of eliminated my whole strategy. I couldn't really special summon because I had no agents, and it kind of sucks. But skill drain does win games, and I just didn't get my Royal Decree fast enough. I actually made deck Royal Decree just to kind of throw my opponent off guard so he can side in cards to get rid of the Royal Decree. I thought that would be a good move. Well, at least, for turn 1, because especially with people running a lot of traps, it's better to just shut down the traps immediately so that the opponent will have to think of what they can side deck against it. And then the third game I had, actually no, it was actually just 1-2. That third round was a bye because they immediately went to top 4 after that. So I was thinking maybe I'll just try again, next week. I'll definitely build up my Herald. But the other 2 decks that I'm actually focusing on, or 3 decks I'm focusing on right now, would be the Ghost Tricks, pure Ghost Trick build. Just needs a few more Owl cards and I'll be done. Next, I'm gonna I still have my Madolche deck. Now that with Angeli announced, I'm definitely hyped up for that. I'm definitely gonna pick up 3 of her so I can do that that 1-turn combo, or 2 card combo with Mewfuel and Angeli. It's an interesting combo. And then the third deck that I'm working on is actually Harpies, Ghost Tricks, and Harpies, Ghost Trick, and Harpies, Ghost Tricks. Dang it, Harpies, Ghost Tricks, and Madolches. So Harpies would be the third deck. Harpies is pretty much the closest one to completion. I just actually need a Draco Sack and a Big Eye. That's pretty much it, because I run 2 Harpies Pet Dragons, because I do like having access to the rank 7s, or even the Master Blades in that matter. Anything that can at least help me get something done in a rank 7, so at least as long as I have a 1 rank 7 of something that maybe I can make it play. But aside from that, I still run the Harpy Pet's Phantasmal Dragon, because that card is completely broken for 3 turns, unless you Dark Hole it, or, I guess, it's a direct attack, so maybe, like, Mirror Force. You can't target Harpy cards. You literally have to just sit there and just say, taking 3 attacks for 2,000 straight to the face, 2,000 points apiece, straight to the face for 3 turns, and it's just crazy, because you have to use your mass destruction cards like Torrential Tribute, like Darkhold, to get that thing out of there. Of course, you would have cards that would help get rid of those, and with the amazing summoning power of Harpies, I can just span the field and go for rank 4s that require 2 or 3 level 4s very, very easily. So I definitely like that. If I can try that out next week, if I can just get my hands on a Draco Sack, a Big Eye, and a Master Blades, I should be good to go. So we have that going for me. And then on Friday, I wasn't there for the team tournament. I don't know if there was one, but on Saturday we had 16 players, so it was a pretty good turnout. I was running Great Yusha. I ended up going 1-3. The first game I went up against was Joe from Team Dark Matter. We had a match. He was running Amber Dragon Ride Chain with stand triggers, and he got his stand triggers down, and he was assaulting me. I couldn't even do much once I hit turn 3, grade 3 actually. And then second game I went up against Ian, and he was running his Genesis Ride Chain Artemis, and he was just really getting that hand power. I can't really stop anything with that. Actually, Ian was game 3. Second game was actually against CK, and he was running the Eradicator Draconic Descendant. He beat me because I literally had no cards to guard with, I had no cards to guard with for Descendant because he had this limit break up. Couldn't do much for that. And then Ian was Genesis. He managed to get his Ride Chain, and his effects were too good because he had so much of a great hand advantage against me that I couldn't really do much. And then the fourth game, I went up against this person. He was pretty new. He was just running the Narukami trial deck. I beat him, but I was actually offering him just some advice how to really just plan out the attacks and whatnot, and to see what he can do. Also, I was getting triggers like mad in that game, so I couldn't really do much when I attack with Vanguard, and I get a crit, and then on grade 3 I get another crit again. It's pretty silly. And so I came out with 1 win, but it's alright. At least it wasn't completely bad. And then so far for the status of everything, I still have some people from the team that are into the League of Legends, and we've been trying to put in some practice rounds on League of Legends. And then we have another we have some other games kind of going for ourselves, and I don't know, I feel that Team Gradelock is really starting to build up. I didn't get any results back from whatever happened at Time Warp or Toy Wiz, because I do know that part of Team Gradelock, they actually go out on Sundays to either one of those locals and just play there. I know that Jason, Henry, maybe Ian, Ryan, they would probably go with them. Actually, I think Ryan's probably more of an associate of Team Gradelock, not actually on the team. So we have that. We at least have a pretty strong turnout for at least tournaments. I can at least go to comics and toys and just represent Team Gradelock there. And Friday, Saturday, Sundays, Team Gradelock's out in full force, just attending these tournaments and really gathering up. And we're also thinking of kind of expand that to other locals to kind of just see what other competition can we come across, because Game On, we have pretty strong competition there, and it's great. And then we want to see what happens with something different. Maybe we take on a different team, maybe we take on somebody else. We want to see what's going to happen, and we believe that it's going to be a very fun fight, especially if we go to another local to kind of just see our best with their best. And definitely looking forward to that. I guess for other news that are coming up, I'm gonna upload a casual match tonight. I know there's I got game 1 of Ryan Spike Brothers versus Jason's Genesis deck, Artemis Ride Chain again. And so I'm gonna get game 1 up, and Jason actually has a copy of the second match, so he can give me that, and then game 3 is gonna be coming up later, if there's a game 3. So that's pretty much what the schedule is gonna be looking at for now. But of course, before I go, I want to at least leave you with a picture of what I pulled from the box openings. Unfortunately, I accidentally deleted the box opening for both boxes of set 10, but at least I'll provide a picture at the end of the video so you see what pulls were exactly. But out of those pulls, the only pulls that I still have would be Sybil, the SP Sybil, I think Ashley, Zui 10, 2 Marylands, and that's it. Other than that, I think the rest I either sold off or traded for stuff. So I know, I'm sorry I couldn't get the box opening in time. I couldn't retrieve the deleted file, but at least provide a video with all my pulls, and at least show you at least what I did pull, at least for at least for those 2 boxes. So, that's pretty much what our plan of what we're doing this week. And of course, if you do want to see anything more, if you want to see more casual matches, you want to see more deck profiles, you want to see different segments, please comment down below, because that's what Team Gradelock is here to do. We are here to entertain our subscribers. We want to show you just everything that we know about the trading card games, whether it's Vanguard, Yu-Gi-Oh, Magic, Kaijudo, etc. Just feel free to get. And speaking of that, actually, the last set Game On tournament we had on Saturday, we had a lot of people playing Eradicators. We had at least had 3 people playing Eradicators, or maybe 4 or 5. I don't know. I lost count, but there's definitely a lot of Eradicator players there, and I faced at least one of them, but at least there were 2 others that were faced off. Top 4 ended up being Josh, Joe, Rob, and Christian. So Josh went up against Rob. Rob was running the Fortuna Genesis deck, and that was scary as hell because second game Rob got it because he managed to do 2 extra drive checks because he drove check non-triggers. So Soul Blast 3, Soul Blast actually yeah, because that was his first drive check. So he Soul Blast 3, crit, and then up Soul Blast 3 and then crit again. So unless you perfect guard Fortuna, it's going to be an extremely scary ride, especially if she has a lot of soul in hand. And so Josh managed to end up winning with that. He actually still has his original Draconic Overlord at the end without Dauntless, and he was just regular cross ride, and he managed to win out all of his matches. So that was actually pretty awesome to see Josh come back and win everything. He's on his way to finish his Descendant deck. I know that he just needs like 2 more Descendants and maybe 3 perfect guards, and maybe the rest would be rares and commons. But who knows what's going to happen next week. Maybe we're going to have a lot of set 10 decks in store. Maybe we're going to see the Spike Brothers with Bad End Dragger. Maybe we're going to see the Jewel Knights again. Or maybe we're going to see something crazy that we haven't seen before, like the Amber Dragon ride chain with stands. So I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. My name is AlphonZeus of Team Gradelock. Stay tuned for the picture with all my pulls from boxes of set 10, and I will see you guys next time.